When Mom Got Married Again, Part 3, Feeling Replaced. Sometimes, a child does not become distant because she dislikes the new person entering the family. Sometimes, she becomes distant because she is afraid that the person she loves most is slowly leaving her behind. For Teni, that fear was beginning to feel real. Early one morning, warm sunlight streamed gently into the kitchen. Yinka stood beside Uncle Daniel as they prepared breakfast together. Daniel stirred a cup of tea, while Yinka arranged slices of bread on a plate. "Daniel, you have added too much sugar again," Yinka said, shaking her head. Uncle Daniel smiled. "I call it generosity." "You call everything generosity when you make a mistake," Yinka replied. They both laughed. Teni appeared quietly at the kitchen doorway, already dressed for school. Her bag rested on one shoulder as she watched them laughing together. It should have been a pleasant sight, but something about it made her uncomfortable. Their laughter filled the kitchen, yet Teni felt as though she had walked into a private moment where she did not belong. Yinka finally noticed her. "Good morning, sweetheart." "Morning, Mom," Teni answered quietly. Uncle Daniel turned towards her. "Good morning, Teni. I made some toast." "I'm not hungry." Yinka looked concerned. "You said that yesterday too. Please take something with you." "I'll eat at school." Teni adjusted the strap of her school bag and prepared to leave. "Wait," Yinka said. "I wanted to ask you about—" Before she could finish, Uncle Daniel glanced at the time. "We should leave soon. The traffic may be heavy." Yinka turned towards him. Teni watched the brief exchange between them. She forced a small smile, although the disappointment in her eyes was difficult to hide. "It's fine," she said. "Whatever you wanted to ask can wait." She walked away before Yinka could respond. Uncle Daniel looked towards the empty doorway. "Did I interrupt something?" Yinka stared after her daughter. "I'm not sure." The journey to school was unusually quiet. Yinka drove while Uncle Daniel sat beside her. Teni remained in the back seat, looking through the window as buildings and cars passed by. Soft music played from the radio. Uncle Daniel turned slightly towards her. "Teni, do you have anything interesting happening at school today?" "Not really." Yinka looked at her through the rearview mirror. "What about your English presentation?" "That was yesterday." "Oh," Yinka replied. "How did it go?" "Fine." Another silence followed. Uncle Daniel tried to make the atmosphere lighter. "When I was your age, I forgot every word during a school presentation. I just stood there staring at everyone." Yinka laughed. "What did you do?" "I told the teacher I was giving the class time to reflect." Teni almost smiled, but she quickly turned back towards the window. As they approached the school, she leaned forward. "Please drop me here." Yinka looked surprised. "We are still some distance from the entrance." "I want to walk." "Teni." "Please, Mom." Yinka stopped the car. Teni opened the door quickly. "Have a good day, sweetheart," Yinka called after her. Teni closed the door without replying. Yinka watched her daughter walk away. "She never used to be like this." Uncle Daniel spoke gently. "Maybe she doesn't know how to explain what she is feeling." During break time, Teni sat under a tree with her close friend Maya. Maya opened a packet of snacks and offered her some. "You look like someone canceled your birthday," Maya said. "I'm fine." Maya raised an eyebrow. "That is your fourth I'm fine today. At this point, it needs its own school timetable." Teni laughed despite herself. "There," Maya said. "I knew you still remembered how to smile." But Teni's smile quickly disappeared. "Everything at home feels strange." "Because of Uncle Daniel?" "He's always there now." "Do you dislike him?" Teni sighed. "That's the problem. He hasn't really done anything bad." "Then what is wrong?" Teni looked down at her hands. "Mom used to notice everything. If I had a difficult day, she knew. If I was unusually quiet, she would ask questions." "And now?" "Now she's always talking to him, planning things with him, or laughing about something I don't understand." Have you told her? Teni shook her head. How do I say, please stop being happy because I feel left out? Maya looked at her thoughtfully. That's not what you're saying. It feels like it. Maybe you're not upset because she is happy, Maya said. Maybe you're afraid that her happiness no longer includes you. Teni became silent. The school bell rang and Maya stood up. Come on, we'll be late. Teni remained seated for another moment, thinking about her friend's words. Later that afternoon, students gathered in the school hall for an art exhibition. Colorful paintings lined the walls. Parents moved around the room, congratulating their children and taking photographs. Teni stood beside her artwork, a painting of two hands holding each other beneath a bright sky. She kept looking towards the entrance. Every time the door opened, she hoped her mum would walk in. Yinka had promised to attend. The minutes passed, but she did not appear. Teni watched other parents proudly taking pictures beside their children's work. She tried to remain calm, but disappointment slowly replaced her excitement. Her teacher approached her holding a certificate. Congratulations, Teni! Your painting was selected as one of today's outstanding pieces. The other students applauded. Teni accepted the certificate and smiled politely, but her eyes returned to the entrance. Maya came closer. Your painting is beautiful. Thank you. Is your mum still coming? Teni looked at the time. She promised. But deep inside, Teni already knew that her mother was not coming. When she arrived home, she found Yinka and Uncle Daniel seated at the dining table. A tablet lay between them, displaying photographs of different houses. This one has a small garden, Uncle Daniel said. Yinka smiled. Teni would like that. Teni stopped when she heard her name. What are you looking at? Yinka turned towards her. Just some ideas for the future. What kind of ideas? Uncle Daniel answered cautiously. Possible places to live after the wedding. Teni stared at them. You're planning to move? Nothing has been decided yet, Yinka said quickly. Were you going to tell me? Of course, we were only discussing possibilities. Teni slowly raised the certificate in her hand. You were also supposed to come to school today. Yinka's expression changed immediately. Your art exhibition. You forgot. Teni, I am so sorry. You promised me. I completely lost track of time. Teni looked at the houses displayed on the tablet. Because you were busy planning your new life? Uncle Daniel tried to intervene. Teni, your mom didn't mean to. Teni turned sharply towards him. I wasn't speaking to you. Yinka sat up. Teni, that was disrespectful. Teni stared at her mother in disbelief. You missed something important to me, but I'm the one being disrespectful? She placed the certificate on the table. I won an award. Yinka picked it up. You won? Yes, but you weren't there. Teni hurried upstairs before the tears in her eyes could fall. Yinka stared at the certificate, speechless. The house became quiet. How could I forget? She whispered. Uncle Daniel looked at her. You've had a lot on your mind. That doesn't excuse it. No, Daniel said. It doesn't. Yinka looked at him, surprised by his honesty. Teni doesn't need an explanation right now, he continued. She needs to know that she still matters. She matters more than anything. Then we need to show her. Yinka looked at the pictures of the houses on the tablet. Maybe everything is moving too quickly. For Teni, it probably is. I don't want to lose what we are building. Uncle Daniel closed the house listings. And I don't want Teni to believe that what we are building requires her to lose her place. He moved the tablet aside. The house search can wait. Upstairs, Teni sat on her bed with her journal open. She slowly wrote, Mom says nothing will change, but everything has already changed. She paused and stared at the words. Then she added, I miss when it was just Mum and me. A soft knock came at the door. Teni, may I come in? Yinka asked. Teni quickly closed the journal. I'm tired. I only want to apologize. You already did. Not properly. After a few moments, Yinka entered the room and sat carefully at the edge of the bed. I forgot something that was important to you. There is no excuse for that. I am truly sorry. Okay. Yinka looked at her. You don't have to say it's okay when it isn't. Teni looked away. Before Uncle Daniel, you would never have forgotten. Yinka lowered her eyes. You may be right. Teni looked at her mother, surprised. She had expected Yinka to defend herself. I have been distracted, Yinka continued. I've been trying to organize everything, and I haven't paid enough attention to how all these changes are affecting you. Teni's voice became quieter. It feels like you already have a new family. Teni, you and Uncle Daniel make plans together. You talk about houses. You laugh together. Sometimes I walk into the room and feel like I am interrupting. You are not an interruption. Then why do I feel like one? Yinka had no immediate answer. After a long silence, she took a deep breath. When your father left, it was just you and me for a long time. We became a team. Exactly. Perhaps I expected you to adjust quickly because we have always been strong together. I don't want to stop being your team. You won't. But it won't be the same. Yinka nodded gently. No, it may not be exactly the same. Teni's face fell. But different does not have to mean less, Yinka added. It already feels like less. Yinka slowly reached for her hand. Then I need to do better, not because Uncle Daniel is wrong for us, but because I should never make you feel invisible. Teni allowed her mother to hold her hand. I am proud of your award, Yinka said. You didn't see it. No, and I cannot get that moment back, but whenever you are ready, I would like you to tell me everything about it. Not tonight. That's okay. Yinka stood up. Whenever you're ready. She left the room quietly. Teni stared at the closed door. For the first time, her anger was mixed with something else. Relief. Later that evening, Teni went downstairs to get some water. As she entered the living room, she noticed her certificate inside a beautiful new frame on the shelf. Beside it was a handwritten note. We are proud of you, Teni. She stared at the word, we. Uncle Daniel entered the room. Your mom chose the frame. Teni remained quiet. I wrote the note, Daniel continued. I hope that was all right. Why did you write we? Because I am proud of you too. You hardly know me. That is true. He paused before continuing. But I would like to. Teni looked at him carefully. You don't have to try so hard. I'm not trying to replace anyone, Teni. I didn't say you were. You didn't have to. Teni looked uncomfortable. Uncle Daniel's voice remained calm. I know I am entering a family that already has its own history, memories, and routines. I don't expect you to trust me immediately. Then what do you expect? A chance, eventually. Teni picked up her glass of water. Good night. Good night, Teni. As she walked away, she glanced back at the framed certificate. The following morning, Yinka's phone rang while Teni prepared to leave for school. Yinka answered. Hello? Her expression suddenly changed. Yes, this is Teni's mother. Teni entered the room and noticed the concern on her mother's face. What happened? Yinka asked. There was a long pause. I understand. I will come immediately. She ended the call. Who was that? Teni asked. Yinka looked directly at her. Your school. Teni froze. Why did they call? They said there was an incident involving you and another student. Teni gripped the strap of her school bag. Teni, what happened? Her eyes filled with fear and frustration. It wasn't my fault. Then whose fault was it? Teni looked away. She said something about you. Yinka's expression changed. What did she say? Teni swallowed hard. She said you had chosen Uncle Daniel over me. Yinka stared at her daughter. And I pushed her, Teni admitted. Silence filled the room. Sometimes, when children feel unseen at home, even a careless comment outside can touch the deepest part of their pain. Teni was not only angry with another student, but had Teni's pain gone too far? And what would happen when Yinka arrived at the school? To be continued. Do you think Teni's reaction was understandable, or did she go too far?